Hi, everybody. I'm Richard Sher. It's time to square off. Let's meet this week's panel. First of all, we welcome back to the program the charming former mayoral candidate, Catalina Byrd. Cat, nice to see you back.
Hey, guys.
Barry Silverman is joining the show. He's an old advertising expert, and he has lots of good opinions. Barry, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
We have Tyrone Keys. He's an author, entrepreneur, you name it, he does it. And finally, from his favorite vehicle, let's welcome on the move, Jimmy Mathis. Jimmy, nice to have you. All right. When Republican Larry Hogan was Maryland's two-term governor, he had nothing but negative, horrible, really terrible things to say about former President Donald Trump. But alas, breaking news this Thursday, if you missed it, the same Donald Trump is now throwing his support to Republican senatorial candidate, the very same Larry Hogan. Take it away, Tyrone. What do you think about this?
Guys, you know that Donald Trump is a master troller. That's all this is. He knows that Larry Hogan doesn't like him, has said plenty of negative things about him. There's no love lost between the two. Trump understands Maryland politics enough to know that an endorsement from him is the kiss of death. So also Brooks might as well start measuring for drapes and picking out furniture. Not that Hogan ever had a chance against her, but that's all this is. It's not to be taken seriously. It's just a troll by Donald Trump.
Jimmy, what do you think?
I'm a little mad at Tyrone right now for stealing all my thunder and basically saying everything I was going to say. Look, Larry Hogan, he's unelectable in this election. He is. I wrote a commentary on this. There is no way Larry Hogan wins this. And the fact that Donald Trump endorsed him, supports him, it's hilarious. It works against Larry Hogan's best interest. And the fact that other than Tyrone, nobody in the market gets this is a little bit funny.
Catalina Byrd, welcome back. Let's hear from you.
I was agreeing with Tyrone at first about the fact that Trump is a troll, but to act that as though that Larry can't win still is hilarious. How do you think he got to be governor for 2 terms? We're not a blue state. We're a red state with 2 dense blue populations. And he still very much is going to beat Angela also Brooks because sexism trumps racism, regardless of who Trump endorses. And she's not it.
Okay, let me answer your question. Let me take an opportunity real quick, answer your question. How do I think Larry Hogan is going to lose to also Brooks when he was a 2-term governor? First of all, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, that should answer everything about their first term. And lieutenant governors do not have a history of becoming the governor or being elevated in the state of Maryland. So incumbency for the answer to the second part.
Guys, look, real quick. Okay. Republicans tolerated him, okay? And Democrats tolerated him, okay? You know, Larry Hogan, had an approval rating in the 70s, but it wasn't an approval rating. It really was a tolerance rating, right? Like, you're coming out of the O'Malley administration, and exactly what Tyrone just said, okay? Yeah, sure. As far as Republicans go, he's better than a Democrat. Hogan was a rhino, totally against Trump, which is what's so amazing about this endorsement. I don't see any path to victory right now for Larry Hogan to win this seat, as significant as this. I really don't.
All right, everybody, I want to hear from Barry Silverman. Barry, go ahead.
I think somebody on the Republican side did a poll, and I think they found that a lot of Maryland Republicans want to vote for Trump, but they're going to leave the Hogan box blank. And I think this is a ploy to kind of win back that constituency. I think he does have a chance to win. His approval rating when he left office was sky high. I myself, I voted for him twice, and if he ran again, I'd probably vote for him again. He's electable, and they have the Trump endorsement. It's going to pull away it's not going to play well with Democrats, but Hogan has a good reputation and solid ratings in the state.
And one
It's not
thing
gonna. It's actually not
about-
gonna play well. It's actually not gonna play well with the Republican base. Is who it's not gonna play well with.
But he's already won his primary, right? And so now it's about playing well to the general electorate come November. And I think that the way that him and his camp responds to this endorsement is going to play a big role in that. But I've never seen him shy away from anything that he said. I don't think that he welcomes it with open arms. At best, he says maybe something along the lines of, trying to create civility in politics, which was what the building of the No Labels Party was about. He continues to be an example of what civility in politics can look like or should look like. But to say that he's unelectable and then to cite Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, it makes absolutely no sense. Bob Early,
it makes perfect sense. Baltimore, Catalina, you are politically astute, and you know that the demographics of Baltimore City, Baltimore County, PG, and Montgomery County are going to carry any statewide election. And you know that when given the choice, Democrats in this blue state are not going to vote Republican.
it's not a blue state, Tyrone.
It totally is. It totally is. It's 2.5 to 1. It absolutely is. And I'm telling you, he is unelectable. And I want to go on the record right now. It's going to be a double-digit landslide against this guy. It is.
Bet a bottle of Johnny Walker on it.
I will bet you fine. I'll take that. I'll take a meatball sub from Howard will tell us the place that we went to. Perfect. This is public. Okay. So there we go. I got your bottle if he wins.
Now listen up. While meeting with congressional Republicans at the U.S. Capitol, the same one from January 6th, Fox News asked Trump, will you be supporting Larry Hogan? Trump's response, quote, I'm about the party and I'm about the country, and I would like to see him win. Who wants to comment on that?
Hey, okay. I still stand by my statement. It's a massive troll.
He said whatever in the moment. Like, why do we even take it seriously? He could come back tomorrow and say the complete opposite and act like he didn't say that before.
Well, here's something I want to comment on. Hogan drew criticism, as you know, from the Make America Great Again wing of the party when he issued a statement urging people to respect the judicial system ahead of the guilty verdicts in Trump's hush money trial. Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, she happens to be the co-chair of the Republican National Committee. She says that Hogan, in her opinion, doesn't deserve the respect of anyone. Thoughts? Jimmy.
I'm not going to comment on this, honestly. I think a lot of this stuff is absolutely ridiculous. And Tyrone, go ahead, take it.
It's one woman's opinion. I'm not sure where to go with that. She expressed her opinion. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, Richard, they're doing it. They're doing the calculus. I mean, the election in Maryland, that could give them control of the Senate. That's what this is all about.
And that is true. Maryland
They need
Democrats.
Larry more than Larry needs them. Like, let's just be very clear that they need Larry more than Larry needs them.
Well, see, I think folk are still thinking about in a party and partisan fashion. If you look at the actual policies coming out of the U.S. Senate, the Democrats and Republicans are almost indistinguishable from a policy standpoint. So that's another reason why you got a lot of Republicans saying, hey, I'll wait for Coca-Cola instead of taking Diet Coke, and that's what pretty much Hogan represents, that, part of the Republican Party like Mitt Romney that's willing to acquiesce and send more and more money to Ukraine. Meanwhile, we have a homelessness crisis in this nation and all types of other calamities. So people are just tired of it.
Tyrone, the only thing I will say is you're going to have true conservatives that either won't show up or they will vote against Larry Hogan as a vote of protest. And there's a very real chance of that happening.
Absolutely. I've heard from people that said they will do that. Catalina, I hope that Hogan has not promised you a job because you seem pretty confident.
The numbers are there.
Okay,
And
all right.
the best chance that Maryland had was blown in the primary in May. If you wanted to keep it Democratic, I'm not a Democrat. We all know that. But you run old white men against old white men. And so David Trone losing to Angela Also Brooks was
So how the hell do you think that Larry Hogan wins this? That's my whole point. When you have the Democratic Party, okay, that just cloaks itself in identity politics and historic nature, explain to me how Larry Hogan is electable. Please.
One more minute on this. One more minute.
Aside from being a two-term governor with an approval rating that was over 70%, the other thing is that when Democrats don't like who wins the primary, they don't come back in the general, but Republicans
wait
do.
a minute. What do you mean when Democrats don't like who wins the primary? Also, Brooks demolished Trump even after the $62 million.
Right.
All right, guys.
She did. I said that. I didn't say that he didn't.
Larry,
I think they like her.
I
I
said
think they like her.
Unelectable.
No,
Richard,
they don't like
please.
it. They like the race element.
November, unelectable.
Everybody enjoyed playing the race card, and that's fine.
All right, guys. Do me a favor.
She's unqualified. She's never held office outside of Prince George's County, and she doesn't have any relationships on the Hill. Like, it's stupid. But she was a Black woman. Everybody, and you know, Democrats love making history, baby.
And you know what? People like her. They do. Okay, she's a likable person. I'm not even sure what we're arguing, to be honest with you.
I know Richard is anxious to move on. Listen, Catalina, I want fries with the sub. That's all.
I'm going to stop for just a moment. We have a lot to cover. Here's the voice of
Meet Tyrone.
Quiet, cat. Here's Howard Mallison. You're muted. Howard, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas Edison.
Thank you, Albert Einstein. Or Steve Jobs, I'll say. And by the way, I want to apologize for Jimmy's not visibility during this show. It's a technical problem that we're having. And we do get his voice and his opinion. So I just want to make that clear. You know, auto accidents are on the rise. If your car has been in an accident, the insurance companies cannot tell you where to take your car. That's why more and more people are trusting their auto repairs and auto maintenance to leading edge auto body and mechanical repair. They work on all makes and models, and they offer free pickup and delivery anywhere in the Baltimore area. So give them a call at 410-433-6433 or visit them at 5807 Falls Road in the heart of Mount Washington. They make your car look and run like new again. And hands down, Baltimore is one of the best diner towns in the country. And the most popular of them all are the Double T diners. TT means totally terrific. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Double T menu offers you so many choices, you'll want to order everything. With locations on Route 40 West, Perry Hall, White Marsh, Annapolis, Pasadena, and the EC Diner in Ellicott City. Plus Monday nights are lobster night at By the Docks in Middle River. All part of the Double T family. Back to you, Richard.
Great sponsors. Take your car to leading edge. Jeff is unbelievable. His crew, I assure you, guarantee you're going to love the work on your vehicle. All right. It has been, or it was last weekend, very chaotic in Fells Point. Hundreds of young people gathering in the streets starting on Friday night. Police calling for backup after several of them were assaulted. Now, what makes this mayhem different is that a 16-year-old young lady was shot early Saturday morning. The victim hit twice, taken to the hospital by medics. She has injuries to her right wrist, 2 hits. Past weekends have also been out of control. Police department's going to try to get a hold of it, but they had meetings a long time ago. You might recall that. So this has been going on for a while. Barry, lead us off on this topic.
It's a I have friends that live in Fells Point, and also have businesses there. And this is a real powder keg situation. it's more than we know. There's an element that's coming in there on the weekends. It's like an open air drug market. They're selling drugs out of the trunks of the car, selling alcohol. It's underage, overage. I know people that have boats around the area there, and they're catching people on their boat having sex. They're finding used condoms. They're finding drugs, needles, all kind of stuff in the community. And in the part where the businesses are, there's just, the police are overwhelmed. There's just not enough of them. And the mayor flies a helicopter over the area at 12 o'clock and says people to go home, and they laugh at it. This is a serious problem, and more people are going to get shot, is what I'm saying. And a few years ago, you had the same kind of thing. And Hogan, when he was governor, he sent in the state police, and it stopped. So something drastic like that, or extensive like that, has to be done. That a lot of people thought that the squeegee thing was unsolvable, but they solved it. You don't hear about squeegee kids anymore. They got to do the same kind of thing, same kind of measures, same kind of drastic measures in Fells Point. It's out of control.
Tyrone.
Well, at least they're practicing safe sex on the boats, because as Barry said, they are finding condoms. So
Not all of them are.
well, how would you know?
Not
if you
all of
don't
them.
find the-
My friend took a picture of them.
Anyway, look, it's just par for the course. This is not a problem that's unique to Baltimore. Urban violence has, metastasized. It's unfortunate because the people that are the victims in multiple ways are usually Black people, from the standpoint of the violence, like unfortunately the young lady got shot, but also in terms of businesses that say, now crime's out of control there, I don't want to come. That happened when Amazon took a look at Baltimore and said, we'd rather not locate there because of the crime situation. That's one issue. Then you have the exodus from Baltimore. The census figures are showing that Baltimore is losing like 0.8 to a percentage point of population every year. So what that means is your tax base is leaving, and that's certainly not good for property values. So Brandon Scott was just reelected convincingly. So I suppose the citizens of Baltimore are okay with the policies and cool moving forward in this way.
All right,
People have spoken.
one second, Jimmy, just 1 second. Lindsay Eldridge, she's a spokesperson for the Baltimore Police Department. She tells Square Off, quote, "We are coordinating with other city agencies to provide public safety in Fells Point. We also have additional personnel assigned to Fells Point. We continue to review our plans, and we will make adjustments when necessary to ensure the safety of those visiting Fells Point." Jimmy, what were you saying?
No, I hope that works out for everybody. Richard, you and I have been having this conversation for a decade. This goes back to Freddie Gray. Before that, this is the war on police. This is the BPD standing down because they're afraid to actually do their jobs. We've been having this conversation for 10 years now, and this is what we're seeing right now. And to Tyrone's point, it's a shame that nobody wants to voluntarily move into the city because of, the crime and everything that's going on. And it really is a shame because city life is great. Anybody that's lived in the city, there's a lot of great things that come along with it. But what's going on in Baltimore right now is horrible. And you're seeing the result of a lack of enforcement and accountability.
All right, Catalina, you were just shaking your head.
I disagree with everything that's been said by everyone. Fells Point has been a gathering place for decades and long before the uprising. why Jimmy even thought the need to invoke Freddie.
No. A gathering place for what? It's the biggest tourist destination in the city. Seriously, a gathering? No. You look at the weekend. No. You look at the weekend that's going on right now with Fleet.
Catalina, hold on. Let Jimmy respond because you were taking a shot at him. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I let them all say their foolishness.
You're right.
My turn.
It's a gathering. It's a gathering. No, it's a gathering place of tourism. Okay, and people that want to live downtown. That's the gathering place.
I don't think that's
stuff.
Jimmy Mathis, quiet, please. Go ahead, Catalina. The floor is yours.
Residents are absolutely able to gather on the water as well and do so and be welcomed. But the issue is that it's the businesses that are there that are still serving alcohol until 2 a.m. that have the promoters. What is bringing the people there besides the fact that it's Fells? It's the things that's happening at the locations that are there. And so if you're not going to talk to those business owners and hold them accountable for cutting drink times off earlier, making sure that they have created a plan for how they're going to not all let everybody out.
Who do you want?
Working with the businesses, you're just talking about what happens to the patrons.
Who do you want to enforce?
Jimmy, wait, let her finish.
Who do you want to enforce this?
Jimmy, every time you come in, you cut off Catalina. Here's the deal. Here is the deal. All right. Fells Point business owners, you'll recall, have written to Mayor Scott warning, quote, if open containers and illegal street parties were not handled, then shootings would be inevitable. And then last early Saturday morning, a 16-year-old was shot. We're going to stop for a moment. We want to talk about Caitlin Clark and something else, but here's Howard Mallison, once again, the superb voice of Squirrel.
Thank you, Rich. You know, Richard and I are proud to represent the law firm of Barry Glazer. Barry always goes the extra mile for his clients, whether it's been personal injury, medical malpractice, or nursing home neglect. Barry and his staff, that includes an in-house doctor and nurse, make no apologies for getting top dollar from the insurance companies. His clients are his best advertising, so next time you need a lawyer, give Barry Glazer a call at 410-547-8568. He gets results. And as an aside, if you pick up a copy of Baltimore Magazine right now, you're going to read the life story of Barry Glazer's career. And also, with baseball in full swing and the Orioles so much fun, head on over to Pappas Restaurant and Sports Bars. You can dine in the bar surrounded by more big screen TVs than you can imagine, or you can have a gourmet meal in the dining room part of Pappas. Either way, you can enjoy the award-winning Pappas crab cake, or as Richard calls it, the Fab Cake. It's
Right.
Oprah's favorite, and Pappas ships all over the country. So enjoying a dining experience second to none at Pappas. Now back to you, Richard.
Howard, thank you so much. All right. Basketball star Caitlin Clark, as you all know, whether you're a WNBA fan or not, she's given the league a much needed boost. Crowds for Caitlin's Indiana Fever games are so huge, they have moved their games to a much larger venue. And TV viewership is way up. Probably going to be the best woman shooter ever in WNBA history. Yet, U.S. basketball has omitted Caitlin from the women's Olympic team. Now, one reason given, Clark's had a rough go on it with her Indiana Fever. CNN sports analyst Christine Brennan says the WNBA has made a terrible decision by omitting a phenom like Clark from the roster. Catalina, you're our basketball star. What do you think?
I think it's all crap. She's not the best player. She's not the only reason that the league is growing. It had an amazing rookie class that includes our own from Baltimore, Angel Reese, as well as Cameron Brink. And so I think all of this has been a ridiculous conversation that unfortunately people like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp have allowed to be perpetuated. No, she wasn't on the Olympic team. She wasn't in consideration last year. She's the comparison to her and Christian Laettner is a bad correlation as well, because Christian was a student. She wasn't even the captain of her own team in Iowa. Kate Martin, who came to the draft to support her and ended up getting drafted out of the audience, was the captain of that Iowa team for those last 3 years. And she went to the Aces and she's doing great. Nobody's picking on this kid. She needs to gain some weight. She needs to go get in the gym and stop whining. I've heard her say in interviews, her father told her that she whines too much. She needs to listen to her dad and get some weight up. There'll be another Olympics in 4 years.
Excellent. I guess you've given this some thought. Barry, your
Richard,
thoughts. Let's keep these comments.
I think people have to understand that the Olympics is not a marketing arm for the WNBA. The Olympics, the committee that picks the players, they have one mission, one goal, to win the gold medal. That's it. And the team that they have are women that have played together. They are accomplished. They've won gold medals before, and bringing her in, her skill set doesn't really fit with the others. They'd have to change and adapt to her, and she's really not deserving yet. She's done nothing in the pros yet. She hasn't even been in the pros for 3 weeks. So going to the pro game is different, and for that matter, going to the Olympic is even more different.
Let me just add that
She really doesn't fit.
Caitlin says, Barry, hold on. Caitlin says she's not disappointed, adding, I think it gives you something to work for. You know, it's a dream. Hopefully one day I can still be there. Now, I want to ask you some opinions about another topic, because we're running a little short on time. For the first time ever, Bailey Ann Kennedy, a transgender woman, has been named Miss Maryland USA. She's a 31-year-old Montgomery County resident from Cambodia. She's an Asian American woman and a military officer's wife. What is your opinion about this, Tyrone? And then
women are becoming increasingly comfortable with the recognition that men are better than they are, even at the things that are supposed to be exclusively women-oriented things, like Miss America. This individual is not a woman. When I was training to be an EMT, they said, listen, it's very important. You will encounter people that are experiencing delusions. It is very important that you do not play into that you stay grounded. Don't ever feed into that. Now, if you were born Jim and you want to call yourself Caitlin, fine, knock yourself out. I'll go with that. I'll call you whatever you want me to. But I will not deny science, all right? There are biological differences between the genders. Further, why does this only work with gender? Why can't I walk into Bank of America this afternoon and say that I identify as a multimillionaire? Therefore, I need a loan commensurate with that. Why does it only Rachel Dolezal?
I can't do that.
Woman who pretended to, well, she said she was black. She was pilloried. So you're telling me that when there are actual structural and chromosomal differences between a man and a woman, you are fine with that, but that's the only place that it fits. Cancel me. I'm not playing along with that.
Jimmy.
I mean, like, look, seriously, anything I say on this right now could come back and haunt me at a future date. What are we even talking about anymore? I mean, seriously, like,
let me cut you off for 1 second, Jimmy. Listen. Hold on. We are talking about basketball and confusion. I bet you no one on this panel, well, I'm not going to say no one, but I bet you few in the audience know that the United States of America just lost petrodollar status. We're not a serious country.
Tyrone, real quick.
Don't interrupt him, Ty.
Who's the last person on this panel that went to a WNBA game? Seriously.
I've never been to one.
Okay. What are we even talking about? I mean, the NBA is kind of a bad product. The WNBA is unwatchable.
Absolutely insane. First of all, Asia Wilson is the face of the league. The
Of
Los
what
Angeles
league?
Lakers- the
What
Los Angeles
league?
Lakers are two-time
What?
championship.
What
Because
league?
you're not a basketball fan, just say you're not a basketball fan. Don't
I-
even sit there and try to.
I
If
am a
if
basketball
you were a
fan.
ball- if you were actually a ball fan, you'd know these girls been balling. Y'all just didn't care until it looked like the damsel in distress was being mistreated. Cut
You
the
know
crap.
why? It's a bad product at the end of the day. I'm sorry, I said it. It's a
The
bad
bad
product.
product is the
Okay.
finals right now, and the refs calling everything against Luka and the Mavericks, and that's why the WNBA games are getting better ratings than the NBA finals right now. Are you kidding me? Watch ball, my guy.
I would love that as conversation. It's why collegiate ball is better than the NBA, and the NBA is better than the WNBA.
Hey, before we go, can I ask Barry and Ty and Jimmy and Catalina and Howard, of course, the voice of the show, why don't we form a square-off basketball team? Full court, and we'll take on anybody, right, Ty?
Well, as long as we've got Catalina, yes, I agree.
Catalina,
Be like the Becky Hammond of coaching, okay? Let's be real clear. I got a nice jump shot. Don't sleep on me because I'm 5'1". This is my sport.
Put me at the line. Put me at the line.
Jimmy,
No,
I'm sorry that you stopped moving. Jimmy Mathis froze, and he did. Tyrone is busy talking about sex on boats and condoms in the river. Catalina likes the WNBA, so do I. Caitlin has been hit very hard unnecessarily. Favorite fouls. And Barry, let's see. You know it's a good, whatever, I don't care. Listen, I do want to urge you all to please read Baltimore Magazine. The Barry Glazer article is outstanding. He's a crazy guy, but he's crazy successful. So he's a lot of clients who make a lot of money. We are at squareoff.net. Tell your friends, and we will see you next time when once again we square off from a boat. Bye-bye, everybody.